Thank you. This is a really nice welcome. And I hope you've had some, well, good times the past couple of days. So I am Nadia. I come from Norway. I used to work with this horse betting company. And, gambling and emotions, there's a lot of them. I was in charge of the UX on the website. In 2019, we decided to put out a new design. Great. Just more usable, it's friendlier, it's easier to bet, everything is fine. Or was it? Yeah, our gamblers really, really didn't like it at first. And the feedback kept on coming. You know, everything we do is wrong, as I guess someone you are used to. I think we got some comments on it only being overpaid IT consultants. I don't know. Some of them we think may have not really understood what the problem with the site was and what their problem was, because in Norway you need to have a limit on how much you're able to bet per day or month. This guy apparently had reached his limit. And we had some experts, some really great web typographers out there. And I thought, well, this is the page they were on while they were commenting. All these are comments from a widget that we put on our website to just catch the feedback coming in. And he was here. Let's see, Times New Roman. I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, maybe not. So why do we get angry? Earlier this morning, we heard Marcin talk about how there's only two emotions in the world. There's fear and love. And let's get into one of the specific sides of fear. And there's this YouTube channel that I really like called Cinema Therapy. And Jonathan Decker, the therapist there, says that every time you feel anger, it's something else in disguise. And that something else can be a lot of things. It could be that you feel threatened, which is where the fear comes in. You think that the people who make the website hates you and wants to scare you and make you not do the thing you really like doing. I mean, this is a hobby for a lot of people. There's things that we want and things that we feel we need, and we expect things that people simply cannot meet. Like these things that we have called, it was called Lyntoto earlier, now it's called something else. It's basically, we fill out the whole coupon for you. The others, Lynbank, is the same thing, but you can do some things yourself, and Andelslag is a share. They really couldn't find it, which was our fault, and we needed to consider that. There are a lot of emotions that we can have. We can feel stupid or sad or anything, and anger is just the most acceptable, accessible solution, just emotion. And when we can't find the thing that we're looking for, we feel vulnerable, and we express that in anger or just insecurity, like this person. And it affects us personally. I mean, when we went from this, which was the old website, to new and improved this, And one day you had, well, the old site where you had everything that you needed right where you needed it, and then suddenly someone come in, destroyed your old kitchen, built it anew. Nothing was where it's supposed to be. The cutlery is where the spices should be, and the plates are where the, I don't know, where the kettles are supposed to be. It doesn't feel well. And as we all know, users hate change, don't they? Or maybe they just hate change that makes them have to relearn everything. If you've done something your whole life, I mean, the average user for the website was about 60, 64. Of course, they had to learn a lot of things again. It didn't matter if it was easier for the 20-something coming in. And, well, some users you maybe shouldn't try to think too much about. I don't know. Yeah, let's just not keep the bugs on the people who are dependent on the bugs. They can maybe find something else to do. Because, don't listen to your users. Steve Jobs is famous for saying that. They claim that Ford said that if people were saying what they needed when he was making the car, they would just said faster horses. That can get me there quickly. But of course, Steve Jobs knows that it's not that you shouldn't listen to your users in everything. You should just not listen to what they say they need. We need to understand our users, as we've seen several people here talk about during the conference. Like Iga had a talk yesterday on research, which is also about just understanding, trying to get at what the problem is. And so ask why. There's this technique that I like called the 7 whys, where you ask why and why and why and why. You ask yourself why. You ask the people around you why. You ask your users why. Cliff Asel, in his keynote yesterday, had this story about a kid asking their parents for why are you cutting pieces of a chicken before you put it in the oven. The parents didn't know. They went on to their parents. And a few steps back, they realized that, oh yeah, the grandparents just had a very tiny oven. So obviously the chicken wouldn't fit, so needed to cut bits of it off. And that just followed down the line. But why do they cut off pieces of chicken? Chicken is delicious, you want most of it, right? So we ask our users what you think of the new website. And as you go looking, you get replies. People are attacking, saying that, yeah, again, we don't like them. They ask where specific things are going. Rikstoto Direct is a video on demand service where you can see the races. And it was very much missed. You can see all the races for the past 7 days. And You could still do that in parts of the website, but they said that they needed to see it without knowing the results, which used to be a function called smyg for some reason. No one really knows why, I think. And as soon as we understood what they were looking for, we made it. We had it in the backlog, we just didn't think it was as important. And as the comments kept coming in, we saw more specific things, like receipts for the games. They were on your page, on your profile, but someone wanted them on the email. So we made receipts. It only took like a sprint or something, maybe not even that. And then people wanted to print out programs. Why, we didn't really know, because we did live odds. So why would you have a print of odds that are outdated? But, you know, people are people. And it's no big deal making it. And as we went on, we started going into all kinds of areas. So we went into Facebook, we looked on Twitter. Everyone on customer support was just looking everywhere and fielding calls. And people get happy when you ask them and when you talk to them, even though they might be angry at times. We found out that when we talk to our angriest users, they would be happy if we just said, hey, I see that you don't like this. Can you tell me more? What's the problem? So talk to them. They don't know exactly how they want their problem solved. They say that they want this specific thing, which might not even solve their problem. But try to understand them, as I said earlier. I know that angry users, you really want them. Angry users are the best. They're engaged, they have feelings for what you're making. Don't be afraid to talk to them. They're awesome. I mean, I love them. And make sure that you act on the feedback you get. It's like any research project. Try to get as much information as you want, and then make sure that you are able to act on it and do everything a bit better. Agile is about making things better all the time. It's a rolling ball, right? I don't have to tell you guys this. You're on an Agile conference. I've been discussing this for a couple of days now. So we know how to do this, and we have the energy, should have. And they will yell. Just keep your cool. Just stay calm. We had a lot of angry users. They were telling us to shut the site down, roll back, get the old site up again. And we didn't. And we survived. We kept getting money. They kept playing. They kept coming to us, mostly because there's nowhere else to go if you're in Norway, because Riksauto are the only ones who can give it. So it might be a bit captive, but you could always go to something else. Someone else will let you bet on football, or you can do some illegal poker. But keep your cool. And put away your ego. I mean, we're all experts, right? Everyone knows their thing. They're really, really good at some things. But learn to be a bit humble. Be curious about each other, about your customers and clients and users and everyone you talk to. We aren't perfect. I mean, there's lots of things that we had to do after we published a website that we just didn't hit the nail on. And now they're a bit better. Well, a couple of weeks ago, they redesigned the whole thing. And I'm not working there anymore, but it seems like we're going through the same cycle from what I can see online. My bad. And just realize some people, they just need to be a bit angry. You know, some people just want to watch the whole world burn. We are emotional creatures, all of us. That's a part of the human condition. And we are wonderful, wonderful people, even when we are angry. Just let them blow off some steam, and when they calm down, maybe they can tell you that, hey, yeah, I didn't get to see my videos. I didn't get my receipts. I lost a lot of money. Why did this horse even run? So, what do they think of the new website? Well, yeah. At least we got some good hiking trails in Norway. So anyway, realize that users need to be angry and talk to them and get in touch with them and say, hey, how do you feel? Put on some hard hats and life vests and whatnot if you feel like you need it. I know I have had a couple of users that I've talked to where I needed protective gear, I thought. But engage with them, talk to them, try to understand them. And you know, maybe, just maybe, your angriest user will start being your best proponent and be your best friend. And that's it for me. I hope I had some inspiration for you, and I hope you're going to have a nice weekend after seeing the keynote speaker.
Thank you, Nadia. Is there any question? Because we actually have some. Oh, okay, from the beginning of the room.
Thank you so much. Nadia, my name is Henad. Thank you for the courage to come to this stage for the first time. The question is, what is your learning? I believe you retrospectively analyzed your past, and would you have done differently? Would you have gone step by step, not making the full redesign, not making all those people to relearn, like out very to oh my God, I lost my words. So that's it. Yeah, I hope the question is clear.
Yeah, we actually did, as I said, they did a new design a couple of weeks ago, and I was a big part of that project. And we learned from the 2019 version, that we didn't talk enough to the users beforehand. We didn't get them on board with what we're doing. So I counted that within a year, I had personally, I think I did 100 interviews with users of all kinds. We invited the angriest of them in to just have a coffee and have a chat with us and asked them, what do you really need from the website? What do you need? How can we make it more attractive to you to bet with our site? Because one of the main goals for Rikstoto is to channel the money gambling into Norway instead of spending money abroad. So I would say that what we've always been trying to do is to work a bit more agile, and the whole team with the developers and the designers, testers, product owners, Scrum Master, everyone has been trying to make sure that we can do those iterative steps and not just the whole site all at once. So the new version is smaller changes and then rather change more rapidly and be agile and be ready to turn on the next sprint and see how fast we can get the changes out when we know that something's not working. Because not everything will work. As I said in my talk, we're not perfect, even though we're professionals and experts. I hope that was kind of answered your question.
Is there any other question? Okay.
Hi, my name is Arthur. Also, thank you so very much for coming forth. I wanted to ask you, yesterday we've been shown that 80% of all the features are not being used. And with all the angry users, it feels like it's easy to fall into a trap of implementing stuff that's niche. And I was actually wondering if you caught anything from the original site when reshaping it into new form.
Yeah, we cut more than we probably should have. And then we, at the same time, we didn't cut enough. So it's the problem with the angry users is that it's easy to get distracted by them and only listen to them. But the silent majority, they quite like it or they're not offended and they're a bit happy about the site. But it's always that hard edge to go to. I was in an interview where we thought we had too much information and we tried to find out what we could take out. The guy we were talking with was like, yeah, I can't fill in this bit because I do not know the brand of the food they're giving the horse. Right? It wasn't that, but it was at that level. And I'm like, yeah, you're not getting what you want. But I will try to see what else is important. So we cut down and cut down and cut down and still made things possible to reach, just not as. And yeah, we designed for the majority with the edge cases in mind. So everyone will get a piece of theirs, but we will hide as much as possible if you're not able to understand it, or because it's hard to put in, hard to learn all the things that you need to learn about how horses work. I mean, they've run against each other before. They have speed records that I still don't understand what are counted by. They do all sorts of crazy things. I mean, they're living beings, aren't they?
Thank you, Nadia. I think that you will have to come back to Krakow again to answer even more questions. But as for right now, I want to give you just 5 minutes to move yourself to the other room for the closing keynote with Zuzi Sochowa. And thank you for spending 2 days in this room with me. I hope that you learned a lot and you had fun. Oh, and thank you for... I share this applause with Nadia, so I hope you give a lot.
You've done a great job, Jessica.
Thank you. So thank you to all of you and see you in 5 minutes in the violet room.